Hello guys! So this is the 16th part of our basic web development series. So in this part, we focus on learning about the CSS margin, padding, and back sizing. Okay. So CSS margin. The CSS margin properties are used to create space around elements outside of any defined borders. Margin individual side. CSS has properties for specifying the margin for each side of an element. So, meron tayong dito yung margin top, yung margin right, yung margin bottom, at saka yung margin left. So, we have here yung example natin. So, we have yung HTML code, then yung CSS code natin. So, this one is just a sort of representation kung ano ba yung nangyayari if we're going to set a margin. So, this specify the top. Of course, dito lang yung right. Dito naman yung bottom. At ito naman yung left margin niya. So, basically, it provides space outside of the defined borders. Okay? So, let's try this code. Let me copy this one. Let me go to my HTML file. Save it there. And let me run my website. Okay. So now let me try to copy this code. And let me go to my CSS file and paste it. Then refresh. Okay. So as we can notice, nagkakaroon na siya ng space dito o nagkaroon ng space dito at saka dito. So na-push siya ng bahagya. So hindi siya masyadong napapansin sa part dito is because wala namang mga container tabi sa kanya. So yung gagawin natin para mas makita natin is lagyan natin ng iba pang mga boxes. Refresh. Let me just zoom out this one. Yan. So merong margin dito na. So kung maglagay pa ako ng isa, okay, yan. So merong mga margins in between or spaces na makikita natin. So this is the container. So ito yung mga white spaces are the margin na nagbibigay ng gap between sa mga container na ginawa natin. Okay? So basically, that's how margin works. It provides space sa mga container na ginagawa natin. Okay, so merong sinasabing shorthand property pagdating sa margin. So yung ginawa natin dito is we specifically go to the top, right, bottom, and left. Okay, so dito sa margin shorthand property, we can just specify yung margin, then or we can set the 4 values of the sides. Let's say yung margin top, kagaya nito, having a 50 pixels. Dito, 100 pixels. Dito naman sa bottom is yung 100 pixels then dito is 50 pixels. So, let me try to copy this one. And palitan natin dito. Yan, save. And refresh. Yan, ganun pa rin. Okay. So let me explain this one. Margin top, since there are 4, we always start with margin top, then followed by margin right, then margin bottom, and the margin left. If nalilito kayo kung paano ba siya tatandaan, then always remember lang, it is a clockwise. We start at the top, then go to the right, go to the bottom, and go to the left. Remember that one, yung clockwise. Okay? So pagdating naman, if you are going to use a shorthand property with having 3 values only, ito yung magiging structure ng mga values niya. The first value specifies the margin top. The second will be the margin right and left. Then the third value will be the margin bottom. Okay? So let's try that one. Let me try to erase this one and paste. Let me go to refresh. Yan. Okay. So, paano naman kung dalawa? Kagaya nito. So it specify yung margin top at bottom for the first value. Then for the second value, it specifies the right and left. Okay? Pero what if kung isa? Kagaya nito. So it specify the margin top, right, bottom, and left. So basically, it specify the four sides of the margin. Kung isa lang yung ilalagay nyo. Okay? Okay. CSS padding. The CSS padding properties are used to generate space around an element's content inside of any defined borders. Padding individual sides. CSS has properties for specifying the padding for each side of an element. So, meron din tayo padding top, padding right, padding bottom, at saka yung padding left. So, we have also here yung example natin. Then, for the CSS, for the HTML naman to. So, we have here yung parang representation natin on how padding works. So, basically, dito, yung mga padding. So, it is already inside the any defined borders or yung container sa loob na siya gumagawa ng space. Not like sa margin, it creates space outside. While yung padding, it creates space inside naman. Okay, so let's try to copy this code. Then, palitan natin yung nandito. Okay, then let me try to copy the CSS code. Override this one, save, and refresh. Yan. Okay, so that is the sample of a padding. Kasi kung walang padding, say let's try to remove this one. And yan. Yun ang mangyayari. Yung content basically already at the corner of the container. So, to make it decent, para mas mainam siyang tingnan, pwede nating lagyan ng magkakatulad na padding. And sabihin nating meron siyang minimum height. Then, save. Yan. So, bakit dito malaki yung space? If we try to inspect, by default, yung content natin, wala namang may minimum height. So, let's try to remove this height instead. Ano mangyayari? Yan. Yung height pala. Okay. So, yun. If you want to have an equality of spacing in between sa loob, then you can just set same value to all the sides. Okay? Okay. So, sa padding, we also have yung sinasabing shorthand property kagaya ng margin. So, same structure pagdating sa mga shorthand property. If there are 4 values, we start at the top, padding right, padding bottom, then the padding left. Okay? First yung top, second, right, third yung bottom, at saka yung fourth will be the padding left. Same sa margin na structure. So, let me try to copy the code and overwrite this one. And refresh. Okay. Now, pagdating naman sa 3 value, having 3 value, then same then, padding top, padding right and left, and padding bottom. While yung 2 values, it specifies the first will be the top and bottom, then yung second value will be right and left. Then if it is only 1 value kagaya nito, then it specifies to all the sides in which yung top, right, bottom, and left. Okay? So, yun ang mga shorthand property pagdating sa mga padding. Okay? So, hindi ka naman malilito. just always remember yung clockwise and start at the top. Okay, guys? Okay, next. So CSS backsizing. So the backsizing property allows us to include the padding and border in an element's total width and height. Without the CSS backsizing property, by default, the width and height of an element is calculated like this. Width plus the padding plus the border, then that's the actual width of an element. Same with height. Padding plus border will be the actual height of an element. Okay? So we have here yung mga sample of a container without having a CSS backsizing property. So this div is a smaller with a width of 300 pixels and height of 100 pixels. So itong container, it doesn't provide any padding. Ito naman is merong padding. Pero kung makikita natin, dahil sa padding na dinagdag, lumaki masyado yung container. Although yung width na naka-specify is magkatulad lang. Okay? So let's try that one on our code. So let's say I will create 2 box. So let me remove this one. So box 2 and dito yung box 1. And yung width 300 pixels. And height is 100 pixels. Okay, so I don't provide any color. Then yung box 1 pala to. Then meron siyang border color na blue. Sabihin ko blue border, 1 pixels, solid at blue. Then wala siyang padding. That's the box 1. Refresh. Refresh, I mean save. Then let's try to refresh. Yun, that's the box 1. So let's try to provide for the box 2. Box 2. Then border colors red. Tingnan natin. I want to provide space in between. Sabihin ko lang muna BR. Okay, so basically, sa ngayon, magkatulad yung size nila, diba? So, kung lalagyan ko to ng padding, sabihin kong 50 pixels, so it will specify to all the sides. Then, i-refresh ko to. Yan. The actual size will be calculated, then adding those border in and yung padding niya. So, kaya mas lumaki yung container na to kumpara dito. Although, yung width na naka-specify natin dito is magkatulad lang. That is because we didn't implement yung backsizing property. Okay? So, ito naman yung sample of a container with the CSS backsizing property. So, ito yung without a padding, ito naman yung meron. But, since nag-implement tayo ng backsizing, then kaya naging pantay yung width nila. So, this is how we implement yung backsizing, or you can implement it in a specific element only. Kagaya nito, since I use a padding here, then I can provide a backsizing border box. And save. And refresh tayo. Okay. Work, diba? So, pwede rin yung katulad nito. Copy that code. So, let me try to refresh para mabalik sa dati. And specify ko yung asterisk. Asterisk indicates that it will select all the elements in the HTML document. Then, specify the backsizing property. And the value will be border box. Save natin. Refresh. Yan. So, ano yung kinaganda if we're trying to specify to all the element? So, it will take an effect to all the element na gagamitan natin ng padding. Okay? So, hindi na tayo magwo-worry kung ilang padding yung nalagay natin. Then, naglagay din tayo ng actual width. It is because namamanage naman siya ng back sizing. Okay? So, this is also useful pagdating sa mga layouts. Kung gagawa tayo ng layouts na or ng mga website. So, there are a lot of containers na gagamitan natin or gagawin. Then, of course, to provide spaces sa mga content, we need to put yung mga padding. So, para hindi magkalat yung layout natin, then, madaling solution is providing yung back sizing value natin or yung declaration for our back sizing. Okay, guys? Okay, so I think that's it. I hope you learned something new today, guys. So basically, we have learned kung paano ba natin tayo magsaset ng margin sa ating mga container, paano natin isaset yung mga padding, and also yung mga shorthand properties nila, and also what's the use ba or the benefits of using back sizing. Okay, so I think that's it. Just like I always say, just keep practicing para masanay tayo sa paggawa ng mga website and never stop learning. Okay, that's it. Thank you for watching, guys, and goodbye for now.